Okay. All right. Who has the questions?
I have the questions pulled up if you need them.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is, beauty is important in both of these poems, but in what ways?
Well, it leads the lady of. What's the lady of Shallot? Okay, the lady.
I think the lady of Shallot.
Okay.
Shalot.
Shalot.
Shalom.
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 It leads the lady to her death because she sees how beautiful she is and then she dies because of it.
It goes back to like such of the influence and like what people do for beauty and like how it affects them.
Yeah.
That poem was long. I forgot how long it was.
Yeah.
I listened to it and it was 8 minutes long. Long.
Too long.
Yeah. So what? I mean, let's. Did you guys understand the second?
I'm trying to find something real quick.
That's fine. Did you guys understand?
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. The reason that she left the tower was because she saw the night, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I don't know, after you guys said that, I think it's kind of interesting to like think of how much men valued beauty in women, but as soon as women valued beauty in men, like in the night or even in herself in this story, like that's when the consequences came.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. And then in the other poem, it's kind of funny. But when I first read it, I was just when it says like curiously they note each other. I was like, okay, well that's probably like their first introduction, like their first like attraction to see somebody. Yeah. Like when you see someone, you're like, oh, he's cute. But I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing for me too, and I couldn't find much help on it online. But
yeah, especially like the part where it's like learning science, sexless virtue, something thought controlled, whatever it said. I don't remember.
Maybe those are just the things that are important to people in that day.
Oh.
Or to him.
Mm-hmm.
And beauty is one of those things.
I thought I was talking about like science as in like human anatomy, like the science of a person. But that doesn't go along with, like, that is completely opposite of sexless virtue though. So
that's true.
That's why I was confused. I was like, because he was talking all about like a human. He was like said learning science and sexless virtue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's just weird. Like that is like, they don't go together, you know?
And also, like right after that, it talks about can the gazer's thought control. So almost maybe in a way like talking about how like, and I hate this double standard in the church, but like that guys cannot control, like if they see something, they can't control their thoughts. So like if in this case, if the guy was a gazer, it's like, it's not his fault that he's seeing certain things looking at this woman. So I don't know, in that way, it's almost like, and going back to that other story, like she wasn't even allowed to look at stuff. Like, where's that? Like she had to look at stuff through a mirror. She wasn't even allowed to look at the outside world. And I feel like that shows kind of that Renaissance like gender gap still, where guys were just expected to value beauty in their women, but like if women did the same back, like I think it represents like huge consequences. I don't know.
That kind of leads to the next question. It says, who is allowed to look at beautiful things?
So yeah, that like the mirror in that story, it's kind of symbolic that like women were to stay inside, women were to not go out and see anything. They were to be there for their husbands and like be the object to be looked at versus going in looking at what they wanted to.
Another
I like
another
object.
another thing that it implies is that when women, sorry guys, there's my face. When women see beautiful things and go after beauty, something bad's gonna happen. But Lancelot knew that he was beautiful, I'm sure. And knew that he was someone that was important because of the way he looked. And he went on conquering, like went and was a strong knight and was a warrior and all of these things, like was a very influential person. And he didn't get himself killed by doing, the dumb thing by floating down a river. Like, wasn't it during winter that she did that?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that implies that when women go after something beautiful, or that they shouldn't, because they'll get killed. So it's something that shouldn't be important to women.
Even at the end of the story, like the guy's the one that he gets the last look. Like he gets he causes all this trouble, and then he still gets to look. And it's almost like I don't know if you guys did the other assignment that's due tonight or not, but like there's this poem and this painting is hanging in this guy's house of his wife that he killed because he wasn't happy with their marriage, but he kept the painting up because he still liked looking at her, even though he despised her. And so I think in both of those, I think it's interesting that like the guy still gets the last look, like it's his, like he's entitled to having that to look at. He thinks he's beautiful.
Well, and it says that when he looked upon her, Lancelot, when he looked upon the woman, he said, "Oh, this woman is beautiful," and kind of labeling her at her death of what kind of woman she was. Which she didn't even really probably know she was beautiful. She just kind of lived by herself, but he got to label her at the last moment, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. So Kenna, you're the one writing this up, yeah?
Yeah, I'm typing notes as we talk.
So I am trying to find the exact quote, but like something you could mention is, oh, this poem is so long. But like just the line where he comes in and there it is. He said, she has a lovely face. God in his mercy lent her grace. The Lady of Shalott, whatever. So you could use that, just that like he literally had never met her, like caused all these issues and she suffered, and still the only thing he had to say was like, oh, like she's pretty. So
Which line is that in?
it's the very last part of that poem.
Very last 3 lines or something.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, next question says, is this different in each poem?
Is what
So,
different?
I'm assuming looking at beautiful things. Is it different in each poem?
No, they make you feel something, and they make people do weird things in both of the poems.
I guess it's hard because I feel like all of us don't fully understand this poem, the shorter one.
Yeah.
But the second line does say, it says the man beholds the woman and then the woman sees the man. And so in that way, I guess that it's different, that they're saying the woman is the one seeing. But I tried breaking apart the second paragraph into what it could mean. And pretty much it was divest means like to rob, kind of. Like never can the man rob her of that wondrous charm of sex. And then, it's so hard to understand, but I don't know. I was trying to figure out if that meant like the guy would never be able to have the woman get rid of like the sex appeal she has, or vice versa. But oh.
And the last question just says, what are the effects of beauty on the viewer?
We kind of just talked about, well, in the Victorian age, it was kind of like if women were to kind of fixate on something that was beautiful, they kind of ended up always like suffering consequences because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of how it affected them, and men kind of just, that's considered nature to them.
Yeah, and that like kind of confuses me because like when we think about the women and like when we were talking about like the fashion and everything before, and they talked about how women like have a day dress and then like a night dress or whatever. So like obviously women were like trying to become beautiful. So like to become beautiful you have to see something that's beautiful and want to become more like them. So it's just like not frustrating but just like confusing why like in the poems where it talks about like who is allowed to see beauty or like how it affects the women or like when the women got punished for like beauty or whatever, but that's like all women do ever, even now. Like it's just like always wanting to be beautiful or always like wanting to, I don't know, be or feel. I think more feel beautiful, but it's just like that's all women ever did. Like especially at night when they had like their nightgowns on or whatever. That's like what they were doing was they're trying to look beautiful for their husband to be shown off. So it's just like confusing and frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what, do you guys know like the general, because I don't really understand this first, like the short poem. Do you guys
I have tried so hard, and I have tried looking it up, and I think it's like a super uncommon poem because I can't find much on it. But
what do you guys think the general idea about it is? Do you think it's saying that men and women should love each other because of like feelings, or like what? I don't even know what it's trying to go for.
Yeah, I'm gonna reread it.
I think that it means that beauty is powerful, and like Maddie was saying, or Roxanne, I forget, that it just never changes and that it stays with the human until, you know, they die. Because there are some like keywords that make me think that it's powerful, like can the gazer's thought control, this control, and then like the subtle serpent feels, pretty much that beautiful people get what they want, and that's what I think.
I don't know, like first paragraph I feel like is the one we all probably understand a little bit.
Yeah.
Second one, it's pretty much saying like the man can never steal like the appeal that she has, and then like she must always, it says that same mystic charm annex. I looked it up, like to add upon. So I don't know if it means to like add upon like to him, or I don't
Probably
think
add upon to him. That makes me think of like when you think of a person kind of cute and like the more you hang out with people, the more you find. So maybe it's that kind of thing. Like it's adding upon like the more time they spend together, the more time they like do wondrous things. They are found more attracted to each other.
Hmm.
All right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just try to come up with the best answer possible.
Maybe just go paragraph by paragraph with that one.
Yeah.
That would probably help.
So yeah, third one, just like can't control their thoughts. And the last one I'm trying to at like every little thing that your heart reveals.
Yes.
I'm phoning a friend on this one.
Phoning a friend.
Every now.
I almost think it's saying that like attraction goes both ways, and neither a man or a woman has kind of control over the situation. Like, if a man loves a woman, he can't have her unless she feels that same attraction towards him, because it says like, he can't divest her of that wondrous charm. You know, like he can't do it on his own, kind of. And then the last one, it's kind of like, I think the last paragraph is saying, like, just the things that make up attraction and make up like love, like twined and grained the sense of difference. And then it's saying like a subtle serpent still. So you kind of like still someone's heart with all those aspects of love. But I don't know.
Well, then I would just go for what you think.
Yeah, I also feel like you don't have to. I also feel like you don't have to summarize the poem in the essay necessarily.
Yeah.
Just pull the few things that we talked about, as long as you quote it once and mention it a few times.
Yeah.
I think
You
she
could even
talks
just
about
have a line that says, "As the woman sees the man," and just be like, "Women are allowed to see in this one, and they're not in the other one."
Mhm.
But, has anyone else gotten grading feedback from the
Yeah,
essays?
He hates
I
me.
got it from like the last like individual one, and I got a 19 out of 20.
Boom.
What'd you get?
17.
same.
That's still good. What is that? An A still?
I don't know.
I don't know how I got a 19 out of 20 because I seriously did that at like 2 in the morning. And
Just
I
had
was like not in it. I just like,
adrenaline.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to discuss anything else, Kenna?
No, I think I'm good. And this one doesn't say it has to be a certain time.
Right.
Mm-mm.
But so I think I'm good. You guys gave me a lot.
Okay. When's the next time we're meeting?
I think it's on like Monday or Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Today's Monday.
It's on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. About Victorian fashion.
And hopefully Tupo can do it because it's her turn.
Well, I'm gonna let Sister Ho know that she hasn't been here for the past 3 times.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, okay, so same time Wednesday. Is that good with everybody?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no.
Maybe.
We can just text in the group text message.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Can you send a link or anything?
Yeah.